What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Team Member Perspective Podcast Training Show. My name is Coulter, your host. You know what? I'm kind of getting sick of that intro. Maybe you guys are getting sick of it too. So I guess tune in for the next episode. It might be different. Today I want to talk a little bit about simplifying life insurance and our health promotion. By the time you probably get this, we'll be in the middle of our health promotion. We've got a pretty high target of what we need to do in health, but anyways, today I want to talk about simplifying financial service sales and just teach one concept today that can help everybody. Whether, we're a team member listening to this that's mainly new business, where you're drumming up new business leads and you're trying to write financial services with that. Maybe it's that you're doing a lot of service work as a team member and you're like, I'm leaving a lot of opportunity on the table here for service. Or maybe it's, maybe you're an agent listening to this and you want to take something back to your team and help them start selling more financial services. I believe that this principle today can help everyone in every role. If you want to sell financial services and simplify them for yourself, for your agency, and for the customer, I believe that this concept can help all of us. Okay, so we're going to do some magic here with this microphone, but life insurance is honestly fairly weird. Okay, like if we put ourselves in our customer's shoes, our customers are only thinking about auto insurance, right? And for those of you listening to this is, specific to selling life and health insurance products from the auto and the home customers, right? Like that, if you're in the multi-line space, that's where you're selling life insurance, is your multi-lining life insurance, at least initially. But these customers that we have auto insurance with us. Some of them have a fire policy with us, whether it's a renter's policy, homeowner's policy, maybe they have business insurance with us. But like when they think about you, they know you for auto and home. They're not thinking about life insurance. So that's important to understand in the nuances of selling at a high level in this industry, is that your customers know you for home and auto. They're not thinking about life insurance. They're not thinking about disability insurance products or supplemental health products. They're not. They think about you and they think about auto insurance, about homeowners insurance. And so we can do one of two things here, trying to sell life insurance. We can try to kind of push the product life insurance on these people and, hope that we can start selling life insurance products, and we can push the health insurance products on them and kind of just bring it up, I guess, to make it simple. Just like ask everybody about life insurance, ask everybody about disability insurance, ask everybody about supplemental health. And I believe that just by simply doing that, you're going to find that you write more policies, because I believe that sales is a numbers game, but I also believe that it's a skills game. And so we can either just kind of say, you know what, we're going to figure it out. We're going for it. We're talking to everybody we can about life insurance. We're talking to everybody we can about disability insurance. With this health promo, we are going to crush supplemental health. And honestly, you might do very well, but why not take a little bit more strategy into that? Why not work a little bit smarter so that those 20 conversations that you have, whereas maybe you can close more of those 20 by just having maybe a strategic approach of how you're doing things. Okay. That's what I believe. For as a team member, like that's how I felt like I was able to sell a lot, is because I had strategy. I had strategy behind everything I was doing. I was very aware of the customer and their experience and what they were thinking about, how they're feeling, and was able to find ways to customize life insurance or health insurance products to them in a way that felt very, custom, like to them. It's very personal. It's very tailored for them. And it made sense for them. It made sense. Listen, I know that we're taught and we've heard that life insurance is an emotional sell. I believe that, yes. But is it only an emotional sell? No. Why can't it be a logical sell too? Why can't it be a logical sell? Because I believe that the way that people are buying insurance and the way that people are buying in general, and with all of the advertising that people are flooded with and all of the ads that people see and all of these people that are in people's faces on their phones, or like people are being sold all day long. They're being sold all day long. And so the logical approach actually fits the way that people are doing business, at least initially. And so that's my first message to simplify life insurance and disability insurance and supplemental health. I think we start the conversation and really aim for it to be emotional too soon, where it kind of feels a little weird, where people are like, man, this is interesting because I just called in for an auto quote, but we're talking about this. It's kind of a little weird. That I think for some people, it's so easy to just like put on the shelf and say, we'll talk about that later. I just want the car insurance for now. Or for some other people, it might be they get defensive because of how it's brought up. But it's also like if I'm being honest, if someone that I don't really know that I just switched my auto insurance to, if they try to get into something too emotional where nothing about anything else has been emotional, if they try to get too emotional too soon or try to force it to be emotional, for me, I'm like, I don't know that I would buy that, right? It just kind of feels like, it feels a little weird. And so I do think it can be emotional later, but I think the timing of this maybe isn't the best if I'm wanting to sell more life and health apps with like new business conversations that are for the most part like transactional, unless you have people sitting in front of you for an appointment, which can happen. Over the phone, you're kind of just writing auto and home transactionally. That like when you try to bring this emotion into something that's transactional, it can kind of get a little interesting. And, I'm not saying that it doesn't work and it can't work. I just think you need the right person and they need to be able to do it in the right way for it to work. And I think the issue is that like, for the most part, making it emotional too soon gets a little weird. Okay. And so for me, I almost preferred the logical approach initially. Okay. And so this question, I teach our group this question because I think it's very important. And I believe that if you can ask yourself this question, like with every interaction that you have with a customer or with a prospect, if you can just ask yourself this question, it makes life insurance a little bit more simple. Okay. And the question is this: how can life insurance make sense for this specific situation? This is a great question that helps us know how to position life insurance. How can it make sense for this specific situation? And, if you're thinking like, well, how do I position life insurance? I mean, guys, we don't need to overcomplicate it. All we need to do is think, what's life insurance designed to do? Well, it's designed to pay off loans and mortgages and maybe even debts. It's designed to replace income. It's designed to pay for a funeral. It's designed to, if people want, to pay for kids' education or gift for the kids or legacy, right? Like that's what life insurance is designed to do if we're selling the standard death benefit of what life insurance does. It's designed to pay off loans and mortgages, replace income, funeral, pay for school, leave a gift, if we're selling the death benefit. And so how can I make life insurance make sense for this specific situation? I mean, you can try to position life insurance to do all of that with the new household that you're writing. You can try it. It can work sometimes. What it might do is it might overwhelm the customer where they're like, holy crap, like, this is a bigger decision than than I thought. I need to talk to Gary about this before we make any decisions. Or it just becomes a little overwhelming. It's like, man, I really only had on my agenda to talk about car insurance today and get that taken care of. But this is like a whole different bucket. Like this is a lot. And I think sometimes we try to do too much. It gets a little overwhelming. I do believe that. However, I also believe in the life framework, right? But how do I make life insurance make sense for this specific situation? That's one thing. And so one pro tip is instead of trying to cover all of these needs for your prospects, what you're writing their new business, or even for your customers from like transaction stuff or service stuff, instead of trying to do all of it, just start with maybe one and like make it make sense with the transaction. So if someone's calling in to add a car, that car's got a loan, position life insurance to pay off the loan. Even though there's maybe more needs, just position it to do one thing initially. Maybe they don't have a loan, but maybe they have a mortgage. Well, position life to pay off the mortgage. That makes sense for them in this situation. Maybe they don't have any of that, but they have a young driver. Well, maybe position life insurance to leave money behind for a funeral, right? Like, how can I make it make sense for this specific situation? Tip number one. Tip number two is just pick one need and just start there. Pick one need. You'll find the conversation simplifies for both you, the team member, the agent, your team, but also for the customer. And it's not this huge decision that needs to happen, or it's a simple decision to make. And the idea is, well, we've written the policy. Now they're just in the door, right? I always talk about a life insurance funnel. Think about this policy, even if it's a $100,000 select 10 term, this policy has entered in your funnel. Well, average team members are going to write that and be like, I did it. I crushed it. I wrote a life app. I think some top high performing team members are already thinking, well, okay, that's really just step one. If they told me yes one time, is it possible they tell me yes again to cover the mortgage too? Oh yeah. If people buy from you once, they'll buy from you again. And so that the high performer is thinking, how can I get in front of this customer again? How can I get in front of them again and talk to them about possibly getting more coverage based on their specific situation? And maybe you set like a review appointment for step 2. And maybe you do it at the issuance of the policy. What a great reason. They send us the policy. I need you to come by and pick it up. Plan on giving me five minutes so we can make sure the policy is going to do exactly what you want it to do. Get them in, hold an issuance review appointment, review the policy, but then guess what you're going to want to do? Offer more coverage. Offer for the policy to do more than was initially discussed. And I'm telling you, that right there increases your odds by 100% of writing more life insurance premium this year. At the issuance of every policy that you guys write, make it a point to meet with them again at the issuance and offer more coverage. You will write a lot of premium by doing that. But you'll also be able to take this logical maybe sell and make it more emotional, have it, become and do more for them. And then not to mention, like, it's another at bat to ask for a referral or to possibly look at, hey, if this is good enough for you, why aren't we doing it for spouse? Or, we also have programs for kids that can help them build kind of a college fund for them. Boom, right? So many different opportunities where we can capitalize by holding these review appointments, okay? And so to wrap this up, let's simplify life insurance. It doesn't need to be hard, but maybe consider making life insurance a little bit more logical for certain people. Position it in a way for them that would make sense for their demographic, their family situation, but also like whatever they're calling you about or whatever they know you for, right? Like make it simple. Make it smooth, make it feel like it fits in and it really complements things because it does. And that's what we're here to do, right? Like we want to help people be protected in other areas outside of just like car insurance and homeowners insurance, right? Like we want to help protect what matters most, okay? And that's what this can do. But if we're not intentional with how we're navigating people in this business and how we're navigating conversations, we could be shooting ourselves in the foot. We could be setting ourselves up for objections without even realizing it. Even though we're checking boxes, we're doing the work. Again, sales, yes, is a numbers game. And some people might just need to simply do more. And that's the answer for them to get to the next level in production. Maybe others are doing the numbers, but it's like if they could just get a little bit better, increase their close rate a little bit more, it could absolutely change everything. At least it did for me. So always be learning, become a student of the game. I'm telling you, that's when things really, really go and can take off for you. Abraham Lincoln has a quote, I believe, about like chopping down a tree. He's like, someone said you got 8 hours to chop down the tree. And I could be making these hours up, but the concept I'm not. Okay, you got 8 hours to chop down the tree. He's like, great, give me a saw and I'm going to spend the first 6 or 7 hours sharpening the saw. And then the last bit, he's going to go and actually chop down the tree or saw down the tree. The point is that the more that we can refine ourselves and sharpen our skills and our ability to communicate with people, understand human behavior, the more knowledge we have around that, the better we're going to be at navigating people. And when we can navigate people and understand why people make decisions, understand, what causes people to engage and just learn more about people, the easier it is for us to speak to them at their level and come down to them and help them understand in your situation, this is why this might make sense for you. And like, boom, right? The more that we can have those skills, the more we're going to sell. The more we can understand about structure and organizing a sales conversation, the more powerful it's going to be. It's repeatable. It's predictable, right? The more we can develop confidence in our delivery and certainty, the more we can communicate that to people, the more we're going to sell. I just got done talking with an agent and I said, look, like I like scripts. I like processes. I think they're important, but they're not everything. These tactics, they're not everything. Without confidence, they're nothing. I could give a team member a perfect process, but if they deliver it in a very timid way and they're not communicating certainty to the customer, they're not going to close policies. They're not. But if I give a broken process to a team member that is very confident in their delivery and they're communicating confidence and certainty to the customer, they will close a lot of insurance. So confidence matters. It's a big piece to that. But there's also strategy that can take your confidence, take your production, take everything to a whole new level. I believe we need method, but I also believe we need confidence as well. And the way you get confident is you just do. You make a commitment. I'm going to do this. I'm committed. I'm going to show up. And when you do show up and after you've made that commitment, you're following through with that commitment. That's what builds confidence. You're doing what you told yourself you're going to do or what other people you're going to do. You follow through. And when you follow through, you develop this capability like, oh my word, I did it. I did it. And that's where the confidence comes. It comes after that action. At least that's been the case with everything I've done in my life. Confidence comes after you take the action, not before. And I do believe that good now beats perfect later. So when in doubt, take an action. You guys are awesome. If this has been helpful for you, send this to an agent, send this to a team member that you feel might benefit. And just don't keep us a secret. Make sure to like the channel, subscribe. I'm getting a little bit better at this. If you're on the podcast, share this with a team member. My goodness. Send this in a text right now to one of your agent friends. Anybody you feel like might be able to benefit from this simple life insurance, health insurance training that has the ability to completely change production for agencies, like share it. They will be extremely grateful. It will be extremely grateful, and I will be extremely grateful for you. And that's what I've got for you guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you for tuning in every week, and we'll keep it coming. Thank you guys. Have a good one.